There it goes. Excellent. Unfortunately, we've got two full silos, but the system is entirely empty, and that gives us plenty of time to work on the next control room. So we'll flip this lever off now. One day past me. One day I will finish. Okay, so we've got spruce stairs, is it? Yeah, spruce stairs. And we're going to be going down. We're going to have to take the floor down one further block. And at least one more, maybe 2 blocks down. Just so that we've got a nice bit of space to work with. I've dug a line through here so that we'll be able to steal this signal. Nice and easy. We'll be able to tell... Ooh, making holes in the floor. We'll be able to tell when the silo is full, and then around the back here we need to dig 2 more lines so that we can get silo empty and silo medium full. So I'll have to dig those through at some point. We'll come down the stairs here, doop down the stairs, and then we'll turn, and the controls will be like here maybe, and there'll be some lights up that say how full the silo is, and then there'll be an on and off switch, and when we press the on switch that will try to fire the piston, but then the off switch might have it shut off. That'll all make sense later maybe. So we'll steal this straight across there, and we'll steal that red one straight across there, make them turn over there so that we've got that information. And then we'll get the information from the silo. Whoops, I've fallen all the way down. We'll get so 3 lines coming in from the silo, nice and easy. 2 lines coming from here, and that's what I'll do next. I'll lay the what's this stuff called? Wool. I'll lay the wool lines down. Why do we use wool? Because it's nice and colourful. You can easily identify it, and it's also harder to break by accident. You know, if you happen to be mining away and you come across it, it takes a minute to get through, and you're like, hang on, that's not dirt. That's pink wool with a redstone line on it. How many did I say? 5 in total, right? 5 lines. How many different colours of wool did I bring? Oh, I need more red. Definitely need red. One of them was a pink line, so the other ones can be orange, green, and yellow. Why not? I've managed to put in all the lines now to where they're coming, but until I figure out the shape of this room, I'm not really going to know where these lines are actually going to. This one has to split because I want one version to come to an indicator light, just the same as the others, but I also want another one to go to an automatic shut off, which is going to have to occur right here, I think. So I'll resolve that in a little bit. But yeah, these lines very easy to put in. The orange one just came straight from the red. The yellow one, I decided to go for that down to the middle. And then the green one, which obviously means go, makes sense to put that as the bottom one. So when I get over here, I know that this is empty, this is middle full, and this is, whoa, slow down, turn the machine off. And in fact, that should also probably go to an automatic shut off, but it already does here. So maybe I can hijack this and use it in conjunction with this to have an automatic shut off here or something. Shouldn't be too hard. I've spammed torches around here because I'm not sure where I'm digging through just yet, and I don't want to make it you know, I don't want to take every torch off every time I pick up every time I dig up a torch. I have to switch over to torches and put another one down. So I thought, nah, just spam them all over, and that way whichever ones I dig up, it doesn't matter, does it? This pink one I haven't actually finished, now that I remember. I got bored of digging it around. Look at this spaghetti. I've got to turn that into steps So I've left myself a bit of wall to do it with, but we need steps coming down here. Then it goes underneath this line, and then it steps its way back up over here, and then it goes that way again. It's proper spaghetti now, this stuff. It's a new day here in Minecraft. Back again. And let's have a look at what a fresh brain thinks of what I did last night. So we come down the stairs, and I've dug out a little deeper than I initially intended. I've left this block in just so that I can get in and out easy. I uncovered this whole trench, which obviously is where the emeralds are going to be shooting up. It doesn't need to be that deep though, so we can bring the floor down further, but I thought that this level feels good, but there's going to be a ceiling. There is obviously, but this is the level that the ceiling will be. This level here. So this is the level that the floor will be. It's a bit low. Could do with going down another block, I think. And then I think this stuff for the floor. So if I go down another block, it will actually be that level, right? Yeah. And then, I don't know, I'll bring the staircase down with a little, like, corner piece, I guess. So we can go up from any angle. What do you think? Good start? Looks like a laboratory. Looks like a control room. Right, I've got slabs and I've brought stairs. I think it's spruce. I'll just put that block there to make my life easier. So first we'll try it with the slabs, just all slabs, see how that looks. I was thinking like that. That's not too bad. I like that, but before we commit, we should definitely check what the stairs looks like. So let's get some stairs out. And we've got one there, and one there, and one there. I'm not going to lie, I think I preferred the slabs, so we'll be coming down. And then, yeah, that's a bit steep. I think I prefer the slabs. And that will also, I think it lets some of that light bleed through as well. But that's not enough light, not for a command center such as this. And I have been saving these lights. God, I hope they look good. Uh-oh. Do they have a way round? They've got a way round. Turns out these lights have a way round. So we have to make sure that we put them all in facing upwards. Ah, that's an issue. I'll come back to you. I've genuinely never placed these before. Is it the axe? Is that what I'm supposed to use? That feels better than the pickaxe. Anyway, 4 gonna go in here, so that'll cover that. That's nice and easy. So we come in, nice normal house. We turn to the right. We go down the spooky staircase. And then we come in to the command center. What do we think? I like it. Now then, where do we want the lights on the walls? I've just noticed that it's 4 blocks tall, and my lights are going to be 3 blocks, aren't they? Like that. So that's going to touch the ceiling. Never mind. Right, anyway, wrong lights. We need these ones. These are going to be our indicator lights, and I think for the silo, it'd be nice to have them in the wall. Where we're going to have the control panel. Or we should have them here, right? We should have them in front of us. The control panel should be here. The lights should all be here. So, you know, just temporary. We'll say like full, medium, empty. Or should that just be across? That could be horizontal. It might look neater. And then we need an on and an off. What other lights do we need? We need a silo 1 is on. So if silo 1, sorry, filter 1 is running, that's like a warning light. Warning, filter 1 is turned on. This will not turn on. This will be off when that's on, I guess. So they need to be together. I don't know. I think that setup looks okay. Maybe I should move it round so that they're all on the same wall, and also we could make these horizontal. So let's just have a look what that looks like, doing it that way. Oh, I've made a hole in my wall. I'm not happy about that. Give me that back. So that would be... No, they need to come down one. So that would be 1, 2, 3 maybe, and then on and off, and then a warning light. Is that all the lights that we've got here? I feel like I'm missing out on one. But I mean, that looks quite good. And then if we had our computer console here, it'd be nice. Yeah, we'll do that. What am I thinking? Of course we will. We'll dig the floor out. And so the console would be somewhere about there. Maybe one more. Just to make it sit middle of the room. And then obviously we'd have buttons, and the buttons would go out underneath. Yeah? Sound like a good plan? Looks good there. But can I do it, is the next question. I've been searching through all my random storage just to see. In fact, actually, I'll check this storage while I talk, but just seeing if I've got anything that might look like, you know, a systems table type, you know, thing. Like a computery, maybe polished andesite. That might not look terrible. Can certainly make more of it, so we can try it out. Well, I've got a couple of different blocks to try now. The first one I thought was this waxed oxidized cut copper. And I've dug a trench out so that I can get in and out easy. And it would sit across basically like this. Right? And just get rid of these. So that would be the computer table, and then there'd be buttons. Well, there'd be signs, I guess, and then the buttons on the top, and then maybe some glass between here and the lights. I'm not sure about that section. Can even extend it the whole way, maybe. That's choice number one, but what I thought might look better than that, and it'd be cool if this works, blast furnaces, right? Which would look like that. Not sure how I feel about that. I don't know if it looks better. Obviously, I've got a couple of buttons. I don't know if I'd have the buttons on the side or on the top, but I assume that maybe I'd have the notes on the wall, and that'd be on. And the question is, does that send a redstone signal through? Can you send a redstone signal through a furnace? So I'm going to have to do some science with that to find out if that works. Give me that back. Oh no, now I'm in a hole. Of course, on my way, I picked up these couple of blocks of andesite so we could just have a quick look how that looks. We've only got two, so we've got a... Oh, I think I like that one the best. I think that's the winner. Don't you? That looks sort of computery, like silver, different enough from the ground. Yep, polished andesite, that's what we're going with. That's the winner. So this is what I've got so far. You come round the corner. What do you think? Obviously the hole won't be there. That's just so that I can easily access the redstone. I apologise if you can hear the dog grumbling in the background. I've lit up the signs. And I've added extra buttons. For now, they don't do anything. I'm thinking maybe we could get a filter 1 shut off here. But at the minute, filter 1 is activated by a switch, which means obviously it'll still be on at the other end currently. But I can update this system. And these two do nothing at the minute, but in the future, obviously, we'll need to send goods from Silo 6. We'll have to send them somewhere. So maybe we'll have a choice of things, or maybe we'll just say, okay, we're ready to send things, or who knows, who knows. At least we've got options there at the minute. So now the easy part of connecting these lines to these lamps, and then the difficult part of connecting this button in particular, but both of these buttons really, somehow to this line just here, but also, is it this line's going to interfere with it? And yeah, it's not complicated. It's just I'm not 100% sure what I want to do exactly. And if you don't know what you want to do, well, you're going to struggle to figure out how to do it. That is now all of the lines laid for all of the indicator lights. And you might be wondering, if you need to leave a space between redstone lines, how on earth can I have 3 bulbs next to each other? And that's because I've just done this. Made a pattern of repeaters, because repeaters can sit next to each other, just the same as hopper chains, really. And so the redstone feeds into the repeater chain, and the repeater chains all sit next to each other. And as you can see, we have our first light lit up. The pink line is a really simple on and off switch, where when one's lit up, the other one's turned off. And this red line has power going through it up until this point, when we turn it into an offline. And so again, when power turns off to this line, it will turn on to that switch. Now, the reason we want it to continue to have power here up to this point is because somewhere in the mechanism, this is where we're going to be pressing our button to turn the system on. And if there is power coming down this line, we want to prevent that from occurring. I'm falling down every hole I've made. So I need access to this line and access to that, so I can just dig straight through here by the looks of it. Just go straight through here. I'll change that to red wall, obviously, and we'll just go marching on through. Right, this is where they connect. So I'm going to make up a piston switch with an on and off, and it's going to be confusing showing you that when it's in place. So it's basically like this. You place a piston there. No, you don't. You place a piston with a bit more space for yourself so you don't fall off a ledge, and another one facing it with your on there, and we can have redstone. Basically, you know, it's turned on when it's in that state, and when you push this piston, it turns off, and when you push this one, it turns back on again. So now if I take my button and I push it, it's turned off. That's interesting. I'm learning things here. That's called quasi-connectivity, and that never used to be a thing. We never used to have to deal with that. Okay, so we'll have a repeater coming out of it. That will solve that problem. And then if we pop the button on the other side, this button will always turn it on. And so we can press that button as many times as we want. It will only ever turn it on. Now, the concept is that if we had like a lever, if we had this one pushed permanently, then it could never switch the other way. And similarly, if we're always pushing it off, as long as whichever one pushed it is powered, then the other one cannot power, because there's already a state going through it. And so we're going to use this system in order to make it so that if there is power coming through this red line, it is always permanently pushing it off, and therefore this filter can never be turned on. But I need to pick all these up now because we're not doing it directly here. I've no idea how on earth I'm going to make space under all this madness to fit it, but somewhere around here I'm gonna leave it with me. Leave it with me. I believe that's it. So we've got the green line, which is obviously turning the machine on. We'll push this piston, which should, in theory, push this block to there, turning on this yellow line, which is the last piece of the puzzle, because obviously we know this line is saying it's okay, there's plenty of space in the silo, and so that line will be saying the player has indicated he would like you to turn on. And I've just taken out this piece of redstone dust so we can test it, but essentially that line then goes off and tells the system to start the filter. So with that piece of redstone dust missing, this should be safe for me to test. And I've taken out the floor so we can see when I press this button, that light won't do anything, but this line will light up. None of this will change, which is good news. Filter 1 is active, is turned off. It should be turned off. We saw the light go. We heard the piston. And so if we check downstairs, sure enough, the yellow line is lit, which should have turned off this torch and turned on this torch. And so if that piece of redstone dust was there, sure enough, the system would be moving right now. And I don't think there's anything stopping us. I just want to get rid of this little bit of dirt. It's really annoying me. I don't know why. That one little bit of dirt was very much upsetting me every time I looked at it. Right, anyway, I think that's all the lines in. Just got to double check everything before I do a full run, but surely if I press the off switch, then the piston has pushed it and this is now turned off. Turning on this lamp, turning off this lamp, and meaning that I can now place this redstone dust safely, and it's finished. That's it. Oh, it's not finished. It's not finished. It's not finished. Quick. 1, 2. No, still not finished. Still not finished. Boom. Done. And ready to activate. Do I dare press the button? Ooh. No, I'm going to go check the redstone first. And that is the last piece of the puzzle. Everything should be linked up and ready to go. Silo 3 is showing us full. That's why this is on, which is what we want. Filter 1 should be turned off. I'm just going to absolutely check. I'll come around here. Indeed, there is power that is going into this hopper right there. There's the power. I was looking at the wrong line, but I was right. There's the power going into the hopper. That's that red line there. So we know that filter 1 is turned off. And I've just finished the hopper line. And this has got power going into it. That's what's about to turn off. And if everything works according to plan, then this will switch this torch off, which will stop power from going down this pink line. And that, as I showed you earlier, should change the indicator light. Whew. Big moment. Here we go. I'm really nervous. Oh wow, it looks cool. Oh, I've brought something. I think that's better. Like that. Okay. Oh, it's on. It's running. It's going to be a while before it hits its minimum capacity even, because it's completely empty right now. And all I can do is wait. I can go upstairs. I don't have to wait down here. But the house is pretty empty at the minute, and it's unfinished. I'm so bad at roofs. That's it now. Somewhere deep underground, all of my goods are... Why is there a llama on that roof? Never mind. And soon we will expand. Expand into the future. This is exciting. Do you think I should turn it off and go check, see how much we've collected? I'm scared. I'm going to go check. Right. Well, we can see things are certainly coming in by that indicator light right there. Oh, it's working! It's working! It's working! Ha 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 ha! It's working. Slowly, very slowly. But, yep, that's stuff. That's definitely stuff coming through. Excellent. It's very slow, isn't it? Because it's got to go at the speed of this Puta chain, which is now switched off. And we are going to get stuff stuck in it, lodged in there for a while. So, you know, can guarantee that that's where my netherite and my nether stars and wither stars and all the rest of it, that's where that stuff will end up. But we've got a few of them around the system. That's just the way that's the way we operate around here. I can make system flush devices where I like automatically set that clock off and it'll just send off whatever's in there. That's easy enough to do. Or I can just manually check it. We'll see. We'll see how we go. But for now, that is a successful operation. I can't believe how successful it worked first try. However, it's used up every single bit of my iron, so there's only one thing I can possibly do now, and that is go mining for iron. Oh, what's that? You want me to build an iron farm? We're on Bedrock. Have you any idea how to build an iron farm on Bedrock? Because I don't. Well, I kind of do. It's not a lie. Listen, we can build an iron farm, but it's gonna take so much doing. For a start, I've got to take 10, specifically 10 villagers all away from here, which is going to be a lot of rails. I've got to set up a big thing, and they've got to be far enough away from everywhere that I'm going to expand to in the future with the villagers. So I've got to find a spot. And again, I did mention previously that the trial chamber seems like the perfect spot to me. Do you have any idea how far away that is? Do you have any idea how long it's going to take me to transport even one villager all the way over there? And guess what I need? I need rails. And guess what rails are made of? Iron. So we need iron to make an iron farm, which is upsetting. Anyway, yeah. So we're going iron mining. Where are we going iron mining? No, I'm asking you really. Where are we going iron mining? Please tell me. Please help. I need iron. I need so much iron. So much iron. And I don't know where it is. I don't even know where to start.